What is up, everybody? It's Cody with Blood Money MMA Bets, and I'm back with another full card breakdown. This is for UFC Vegas 93, Tatsuro versus Perez, and it's going to be a pretty good card. You know, we got a lot of good fights back in the Apex, so maybe we'll get a little bit more violence and stuff like that. The UFC Louisville card last week was pretty fun, man. I went to it, had a pretty good time. I was super upset about the main event getting prematurely stopped for many reasons, not just being there, but also had a bet on it. But that was terrible. Like, Cannonier was getting rocked and like going around the ring, but like he wasn't eating nowhere big shots, and he was just trying to get his bearings back. It never even went down one time. And Jason Herzog's like, I gotta save your life. I gotta save your life. Come on, man. Yeah, man, that's the only thing that ruined that for me. But let's do a quick recap of UFC Louisville. And I went 4-3 on my bets for plus 3.75 units or $375. And that's 3 winning weeks in a row and 4 out of 5. So getting back on track here right at the end. So my 4 winning bets, I had Fugitt Tumar plus 195. So I got plus 390 on her. And that was a close fight. Even watching it, me and Johnny K. Picks were sitting next to each other. Like, I don't know who won the first 2 rounds. And it was just back and forth. But the moral of the story is Amanda should have never been minus 360 to anybody. She's not that good. I knew Fugitt could stop the takedowns, and then it was going to be a close striking match. That's what I said in the bet. And she got the nod there. Then Denise Gomez, man, put a beat down on Mora. Didn't finish her, but got 2 30-27s, and it was crazy. One judge gave her the other girl 30-27. It was bananas. But so 2 underdog girls covered, and then I had their Marquez versus Reese under 2.5 with Ferreira Stolfoots under 2.5. That hit easy for plus 2 units. Then I had the Raki Prates under 2.5 with the Lee De La Rosa over 2.5, and that hit for 3 units. And then were pretty easy bets. My 3 losing bets, man, I had Cannonier. Cannonier, he was winning on the scorecards. Obviously, he would have lost that round, so it would have been 5-5 going into the, or 2-2 going into the 4th round or 5th round. But yeah, minus 3 units on that. If he could have won, I would have ended up over almost 10 units. But, you know, is what it is. Then Julian Marquez got dusted. It seemed like kind of an early stoppage, but he got dusted quick, man. And then Baeza, Katona, easy bet. Baeza, freaking terrible. Puna looked great. Shout out Puna, looked great at 170. So yeah, that brings my 2024 record to 48 for minus 17 plus 10.10 units. I've been working it down. It was like minus 26. And my overall bet record to 345 and 261 for plus 102 units. So I'm still up 10 grand, 10,200, and I'm making my comeback on this week, or on this card. So definitely it was a fun fight card to be at. Like I said, I got to hang out with Patty, and I got to hang out with my boys Snacks, and some other people, and Patty's boy Zach. So it was a super good fun show. So this will be my last breakdown until, you know, the beginning of August. I'm gonna take the next couple of months off. My daughter just graduated kindergarten, and she's gonna be off. I'm off during the week, and instead of doing tape study and shows and all that stuff, man, I'm gonna take her kayaking, camping, and have her a great summer with her and a fun time, and not be locked down with a bunch of obligations and things to do. Because I already work a full-time work schedule, man. It's with commute and everything for that, it's like 53 hours a week. Add on my whole Tuesday for tape study and a bunch of stuff. And take me a little break. It's been almost 3 years, like I said, up 100 units. I've been doing pretty good. So appreciate everybody that supported me on here. I'm on 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. I got about 4,000 on Instagram, and I got 10,000 followers on Twitter. I just got last week. So shout out to everybody, man, that supports me, that shows support to your boy. And it's fun, man. This is fun. This is what I love to do. It's going to be hard to take this time off, but man, I'll still be watching the fights and stuff like that. I'm just not going to put in all the time, you know what I mean, to tape study and do all that stuff. But when I come back, I'm freezing my Patreon, so nobody's getting charged for nothing. To people that stay in it, you'll get all my early bets and stuff, because I'll be back a week in advance, like I always am. Have some bets, have some breakdowns. I'll post it all early on the Patreon. So shout out to everybody, man. If you want to get the rest of my bets this week, follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Blood Money MMA Bets. And everybody check out Face Meet Fist, man. He's got an excellent website, so it has a bunch of different MMA gear and all kinds of different stuff. Got the Blood Money gear there and stuff. So everybody check that out, man. And you enjoy the stuff that you get there. Eventually, when I get back, we're gonna have the defend your units and all that gear on there. So shout out to everybody though. Let's get right into this UFC Vegas 93 card. First fight on the card that I have wrote down anyways is Jeka Saragih versus Weston Wilson. Jeka Saragih's 14-3, currently sitting at minus 340, 29 years old, 5'8" with the 69-inch reach. Weston Wilson 16-9, currently sitting at plus 270, 35 years old, 6'1" with the 73-inch reach. So you'll see that Weston's going to be 5 inches taller with 4 inches of reach. Jeka Saragih from Indonesia, man, he's got crazy power in both hands and both feet. Everything he throws is with crazy power. We did see him get beat by Anshul Jubilee, but that was up a weight class, and he was just a lot smaller. Anshul was 6'1", and just went out and just used his size, grappled him, and was able to finish him on the ground. Jeka's ground isn't that terrible, especially fighting on the regional scene and that stuff. But against these bigger guys, you know, it's something to watch out for. But his striking is phenomenal. You've seen him knock out Lucas Alexander in the last fight. If you go watch his road to UFC, he knocks dudes dead on that. A couple of them, they don't move. So very dangerous everywhere. Decent takedown defense, decent get up game. Weston Wilson, man, this dude is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's boy. Big, long striker, like a karate guy, but really he does his best work on the ground, man. He's got 11 submission wins and 5 KO wins. He's finished all 16 of his wins. He's kill or be killed. He's got 7 finished losses too. Has not had a good run in the UFC. He's had very tough opponents, Joe Anderson Brito, Gene Silva, and now Jeka Saragih. But this is a winnable fight for him if he can get his grappling going and get this fight to the ground and wear on Saragih being the bigger guy, man, because he's a very big guy. And like I said, he's got a ton of submissions. I'm taking Jeka Saragih here, man. Weston Wilson has been knocked out 4 times, submitted 3 times. I think he gets his 5th knockout loss and probably out of the UFC. Next fight is in the women's strawweight division. We got Julia Polastri versus Josefine Knutsson. Julia is 12-3, currently sitting at plus 185, 26 years old, 5'2" with the 63.5-inch reach. Josephine 7-0, currently sitting at minus 225, 28 years old, 5'3" with the 60-inch reach. So you'll see she'll be 1 inch taller, but Polastri will have a 3.5-inch reach advantage. And Julia Psycho Polastri, man, I'm actually pretty impressed with what I've seen in her tape. She's got 1 loss in her last 9 fights, and that was to Jasmine Jazz Diavicius on the Contender Series. And Jasmine is huge. She's a strawweight. Jasmine's a flyweight. And Jasmine was huge and was just able to get her wrestling going. But Julia has really good striking. She has pretty good offensive and defensive wrestling, and she has good jiu-jitsu, good ground and pound. And as you see, she's got good rear naked chokes, triangle chokes. Like I said, her only loss, she's been beating pretty good girls too. 7-2, 9-1, 8-2. She lost to Jasmine, beat a 19-8, 6-0, 9-2. And she's finishing most of these girls. She's finished 6 of her last 7 wins, 3 KO, 3 subs. So she mixes it up. She's better at striking than she is at grappling, but I think her grappling is really good too. Like I said, Brazilian girl that's been fighting both styles her whole life. Josephine, she's got good kickboxing background. She's got really straight technical punches, good front kicks and teat kicks. And she's got actually decent grappling for a girl that comes from a striking background. I just don't think it's going to be better than Julia here. I think Julia can actually push a forward pressure pace in this fight and back Josephine up. And I think all the grappling will go to Julia, especially towards the end of the first round, second and third round, because I think that Knutsson slows down. It looked like she did on the Contender Series, and it looked like she did against Mardik Man. So I'm going to take Julia as another big girl underdog. I'm going to say that she has the better grappling, could hold her own in striking, and gets this close decision win. Next fight is in the women's flyweight division. We got Carli Judice versus Gabriella Fernandes. Carli's 3-1, currently sitting at about like plus 150 now. 25 years old, 5'7" with the 68-inch reach. Gabriella's 8-3, currently sitting at minus 230, 5'6" with the 66-inch reach, 30 years old. So you'll see everything's about the same. Judice is 1 inch taller with 2 inches of reach. Judice comes from softball background, but she's got pretty good striking. I mean, you've seen in on a Contender Series, she's got long, fast boxing. Like, she's just a natural boxer with good hands, throws a ton of combinations. She doesn't move her head. She's very hittable. But that's what's going to happen when you're throwing hundreds of strikes. You know, she's got a pretty good step in knee and nice clinch knees you've seen on the Contender Series. She can get grappled. She had a amateur fight or a regional scene fight where she won, but she was grappled a little bit in that fight. Gabriella Fernandes, 2 losses in the UFC. Those both come from being grappled. She fought Teresa Bleda and Jasmine Jazz Diavicius, who are both, you know, strong, big girls that are high-level grapplers. But even watching her striking, I'm not all that impressed with her striking, to be honest. It's not that great, but she's got good movement. She's got way better movement. She's got way better striking defense. And I think she's going to have all the grappling upside in this fight. So striking, it'll be a good fight and back and forth, but I think Gabriella can actually use grappling. I'm not betting this fight, but give me Gabriella. I'll take her by decision. Next fight is in the men's flyweight division. We got Nate Maness versus Jimmy Flick. Nate Maness is 15-3, currently sitting at minus 400, 32 years old, 5'10" with a 72-inch reach. Jimmy the Brick Flick is 17-7, currently sitting at plus 310, 33 years old, 5'7" with a 68-inch reach. And yeah, man, Nate Maness, good takedown defense, good jiu-jitsu, and powerful strikes on the ground or standing, man. He's a big, long dude for freaking 125. He's going to have 3 inches of height here and 4 inches of reach. And, you know, I think he's going to be pretty much better than Jimmy Flick everywhere other than outright jiu-jitsu. But I don't think Jimmy Flick's going to have the grappling to just take Nate Maness down. And then even if he does, he's not going to be able to submit him in the first round. And Jimmy Flick, man, no striking whatsoever, but he's got okay wrestling, and then he's got really good jiu-jitsu. He does have good jiu-jitsu. I'm not going to take that away from him. But he's also got pretty bad cardio when it comes to striking and then taking guys down and panic wrestling, and he tends to fade like he did against Charles Johnson, Costa. You'll see Jimmy Flick has been finished 6 times by KO, and they're all usually in the second or third round because he goes hard, gasses himself out trying to get the finish in the first round, and then he gets finished in the second or third. So he's got 15 wins by submission out of his 17 wins and 0 KOs. Nate Maness is going to stop the grappling, stop the submission attempts in the first round, and then knock out Jimmy Flick and give him his 7th TKO loss. Next fight's in the men's welterweight division. We got Adam Fugitt versus Josh Quinlan. Adam Fugitt is 9-4, currently sitting at minus 110, 35 years old, 6'1" with the 77-inch reach. Josh Quinlan is 6-2, 31 years old, 6 foot with the 72-inch reach. So you'll see Fugitt's going to have 1 inch of height and 5 inches of reach, and he's also going to be 4 years older. Fugitt's pretty well-rounded fighter. Decent power in his hands. He's got a nice, fast left head kick, and then decent wrestling, decent grappling, and decent jiu-jitsu. You know, he's not really great anywhere, but he's pretty tough, and he pushes a pretty good pace, man. He had good fights with Michael Morales, got dusted by Mike Malott, and then dusted Kinoshita. So it's kind of hard to tell what he's got. He's got a good win on the regional scenes over Solomon Renfro, too. Josh Quinlan, another guy, he's beat up a ton of bums, and then he fought some high-level competition and then got beat. So it's hard to tell where he's really at. I think both these guys are right around, you know, the same exact level. So I don't know, man. Quinlan, he's got good power in his hands, but he can be low output, and it doesn't seem like he's knocking out these higher level guys. I'm going to take Fugitt because I feel like Fugitt's just as dangerous as Quinlan on the feet. Both these guys got finished pretty bad last fight, but Quinlan's was definitely a little worse. And I'm going to take Fugitt because he's a little bigger, and I think that he can mix in the grappling a little bit in this fight. He's going to be the one to do it. So, yeah, man, give me Adam Fugitt. And I would probably say by decision because even though Quinlan got finished in that last fight, it took a lot from Danny Barlow to get him out of there. So I say by decision. Next fight is in the men's featherweight division. We got Lucas Almeida versus Timmy Cuamba. Lucas Almeida is 14-3, currently sitting at plus 150, 33 years old, 5'11" with a 71-inch reach. Timmy Cuamba is 8-2, 25 years old, 5'9" with a 71-inch reach. So you see Almeida's 2 inches taller, reach is the same, and then Almeida's 8 years older. Almeida's got really good kickboxing, Muay Thai. If you watch him on the Contender Series, he had a great fight with Daniel Zellhuber where they went back and forth. He was beating the crap out of Zellhuber at first, and Zellhuber came back and ended up getting the win by decision, and then came back and knocked out Mike Trezano after getting hurt real bad in the first round. So, I mean, the dude's a dog, but then he got completely outclassed and grappled by Pat Sabatini, and then he got knocked out by Andre Fiallo, but you know, it's tough to compare Andre Fiallo Andre Fili and freaking Pat Sabatini to Timmy Cuamba. Timmy Cuamba, he's got good striking. He's really fast and he's accurate and he's got good precision. Like he was hitting Mateus, what's the dude's name? Vogel on the Contender Series. Dude with just fast, crisp shots, man. And he's got good takedown defense and he's got pretty good power, fast head kicks, fast hands. The thing is he goes hard in the first round. He'll start slowing down just a little bit where he's a lot more hittable. And that's what happened against Vogel. I actually thought Vogel won that fight, but Vogel is a tough dude, and he'll be back in the UFC in my opinion. But in this fight, it's going to be a striking match, man. And like the first round, maybe Lucas Almeida gets hurt and gets dropped by Timmy Cuamba. But like I could see him getting through that and coming back and landing his own power leg kicks. Like I actually think that Almeida is going to have better striking here. I don't think Cuamba is going to be able to wrestle him down. If you watch most of his fights, he's not using any offensive wrestling earlier in his career on the regional scene against bums. But this is going to be a good fight. I'm going to take the more proven guy in Lucas Almeida with the higher level competition as a big underdog at like plus 170, but probably won't be getting around to betting it. Next fight is in the men's middleweight division. We got Ikram Aliskerov versus Antonio Trocoli. Ikram Aliskerov is 15-1, currently sitting at minus 900. 31 years old, 6 foot to 76-inch reach. Trocoli is 12-3, plus 600, 33 years old, 6'5" with the 82-inch reach. So you see Trocoli is going to be 5 inches taller with 6 inches of reach. And this is short notice for Trocoli. He's coming in. Yeah, man, he's pretty well-rounded. He's got decent striking. He's got decent jiu-jitsu. But he won on the Contender Series a couple years ago over Kenneth Berg and then failed for a drug test. And then he's only had one fight since then in 5 years. So hard telling what you're going to get from him, but I guarantee after not fighting one time in 5 years, it's not going to be great. And then he's coming in against one of the best middleweights in up-and-coming middleweights in the game. Ikram has awesome jiu-jitsu. He has awesome wrestling, so he has the better wrestling here. Even if he gets to the ground, he's got 6 Kimuras, 6 submissions, so he's going to have just as good a jiu-jitsu or submissions, and he's going to be the one on top. And then on the feet, I think he's going to knock Antonio Trocoli out, man. And it's crazy because Ikram just keeps fighting low-level guys because all his fights keep getting canceled. He's supposed to fight Paulo Costa. That got canceled. He fight Warley Alves. We would have learned a lot against Paulo Costa. Then he's supposed to fight Anthony Hernandez, then Andre Munoz, which we could have learned some stuff on, especially Anthony Hernandez. Them all get canceled. So give me Ikram. Give me him by knockout. Next fight is in the men's one. Let's see. Where's this at? My bad. It was all the way down here. Next fight is in the men's featherweight division. We got Shayilan Nuerdanbieke versus Melk Costa. I was just going to say Melk the whole time. And for some reason, I started reading it. But Shayilan Nuerdanbieke, Melk Costa. Shayilan's 39-11, 30 years old, currently sitting at plus 150, 5'8" with the 69-inch reach. Costa is 20-7, currently sitting at minus 180, 27 years old, 5'10" with the 73-inch reach. Shayilan Nuerdanbieke throws super power in the first round. He'll wrestle heavy in the first round. If he can dominate you and get you out of there, he's going to beat you up. Or if you're TJ Brown, you just wrestle around with him for 3 rounds and you have no jiu-jitsu and just keep getting reversed, he can probably beat you. But other than that, he gasses out again after 1 round. Go watch him. And he's never beat anybody good. Sean Soriano. He fought a guy just like Melky in Kulabau, and Kulabau dusted him. He came out, he threw some hard punches in the first round, tried to grapple really heavy. Kulabau stopped it all. He was tired. Kulabau picked them apart from range. Melquizael Costa is just Melky is just as good a striker as Josh Kulabau, and then he's got better grappling. So he's got crazy spin kicks. He's super fast, super accurate. He's going to be 2 inches taller. He's going to have 4 inches of reach, and he uses all that reach. He's always staying at a distance, hitting with spin kicks, long punches, flying knees. He's got good offensive and defensive wrestling, man, and grappling, jiu-jitsu. So he's going to win. I mean, Shayilan will come out, try to wrestle hard in the first round because Melquizael Costa's striking is going to be a level above. Like, his striking is sick. And then once his grappling, Shayilan's grappling doesn't work, Melquizael can even grapple with him and probably get on top, or he can just keep him at range and beat the crap out of him, you know. I like Costa a lot in this fight. Like a ton. Nuerdanbieke's not good. I think Costa should be a bigger favorite. I think that he's going to have this fight covered everywhere, and especially in the cardio. You've seen the pace that he had with Jesse Ringo, Austin Lingo, where he put a crazy pace for all 9 rounds, man. So, or all 3 rounds. And we were thinking maybe he could gas out, but, you know, he came through and ended up getting the win. So I'm taking Costa. I like him. I'm heavy on him. Next fight is going to be phenomenal, man. This is in the men's flyweight division. We got Tagir Ulanbekov versus Joshua Van. Ulanbekov's 15-2, currently sitting at minus 225, 32 years old, 5'7" with the 70-inch reach. Joshua Van is 10-1, currently sitting at plus 180, 22 years old, 5'5" with the 65-inch reach. So you'll see right off the bat, Tagir is a lot bigger, 2 inches taller, 5 inches of reach. Tagir's got excellent striking. He's got great leg kicks. He's got really good boxing. You've seen him hurting Cody Durden a lot in that last fight. And then he's got excellent Dagestani wrestling and phenomenal jiu-jitsu as he's choked out his last two opponents, Nate Maness and Cody Durden, which isn't easy to do. Joshua Van, man, is a excellent up-and-coming prospect at 22 years old. His boxing is phenomenal. He's already got some of the best boxing you're going to see. He works the body like crazy, hits really hard. He's super durable. He's 10-1, and his only loss, if you go watch it earlier in his career, was to Devin Jackson, and that dude freaking just out-wrestled him. And that was only 2.5 years ago. You know, he was only 20 then, but how much grappling can you get to go against a lifelong Dagestani grappler? So Joshua Van's going to have his moments on the feet, but Tagir's going to hold his own on the feet, and I believe he's going to dominate Joshua Van. It's Tagir is the present, Joshua Van is the future. So give me Tagir, and I actually think he gets like a third-round submission after just wearing on the smaller Joshua Van. Next fight is in the men's bantamweight division. We got Miles John versus Douglas Silva de Andrade. Miles John's 14-2, currently sitting at -125, 30 years old, 5'7" with the 66-inch reach. Douglas Silva de Andrade, 29-5, currently sitting at +105, 38 years old, 5'7" with the 68.5-inch reach. So you see Douglas De Silva has a 2.5-inch reach. And Miles John's a good wrestle boxer. You know, he's got pretty good boxing, decent leg kicks, and then he's got pretty good wrestling and jiu-jitsu, but it tends to wear him out when he wrestles a lot. But he's very strong, and I will say his jiu-jitsu is looking better, especially since he's gone to Marathon MMA with Trey Ogden. Shout out Trey Ogden. He's putting a pretty good team together there. He's going to be fighting Douglas Silva de Andrade, man, who's very, very, very well-rounded fighter. He's 38 years old, but he's not like a regular 38-year-old. This dude's going to be cut up and in shape when he's 55 years old. He's well-rounded. He's got really good striking, powerful leg kicks, good flying knees, excellent boxing with pretty good power. And then he's got good offensive wrestling, good defensive wrestling, and an excellent get-up game. So to me, Miles John's not going to be able to wrestle here. He could try to wrestle and maybe get some takedowns, but I just believe that that Douglas Silva de Andrade is just going to be able to get up, and that'll just wear on Miles Johns. And then I believe when they're on the feet, Douglas Silva has a way wider range of striking ability and different strikes to win this fight. Silva's only loss, Andrade's only losses are to high-level people, Lerone Murphy, Pyotr Yan, Said Nurmagomedov, you know, and he's been in there with some really good guys, Sergey Morozov, Cody Stamen. He's got to win over Marlon Vera. You know, I mean, he whooped Cody Gibson back in 9 years ago when Cody Gibson was still in his prime. So I think Douglas Silva de Andrade is the side here, especially at underdog prices. So give me him. Next fight is in the men's flyweight division. We got Asu Almabaev versus Jose Johnson. Asu is 19-2, currently sitting at minus like 600, 30 years old, 5'4" with a 65-inch reach. Jose Johnson dropping down to flyweight, which is the craziest thing I've ever seen. 16-8, currently sitting at like plus 450, 29 years old, 6 foot with a 71.5-inch reach. So you'll see he's going to have 8 inches of height, and he's going to have 8.5 inches of reach. This is going to be crazy when these guys do the face-offs. It's going to go crazy. Like, it's going to look so nuts. But it's kind of a dangerous fight, man. Azu has good striking. He has good leg kicks. He has good boxing. He has phenomenal wrestling, phenomenal double legs on the timing, the speed of his double legs. And he's got excellent jiu-jitsu, excellent ground and pound, and really good rear naked chokes and arm triangles. Jose Johnson, dude, he's a good striker. You can go watch him elbow a guy, Costa, in the head on the regional scene and put him into seizures. He's got a couple of them where he just knocks guys dead with crazy short shots. He has no takedown defense, and he has okay jiu-jitsu, but it's not like great. It's good against lower level guys. But he's so dangerous, man. I didn't put Azu in any parlays this week just because, man, he's so dangerous that I don't know. Like, I think Azu is going to be able to get these takedowns, but he does hold people up against the fence a lot. He could get elbowed. There's a lot of stuff. I'm taking Azu. I like him by submission if you want to get the price down, because Jose Johnson has been submitted 4 times in his career. He got twisted by Damon Blackshear. Azu's got 8 submissions, I believe. So, I mean, I like Azu here, but it's going to be dangerous because Jose Johnson's very dangerous. He's not going to be the better fighter, but he's going to be the more dangerous fighter. Azu by submission, but man, you might be holding your breath a couple times in that fight if he doesn't get him out of there really quick. Excuse me. Next fight is in the men's bantamweight division. We got Garrett Armfield versus Brady Heastan. And this is going to be a great scrap, man. Garrett Armfield is 10-3, currently sitting at minus 170, 27 years old, 5'6" with a 70-inch reach. Brady Heastan 7-2, currently sitting at plus 1 like 50, 25 years old, 5'8" with the 71-inch reach. And this is going to be a good fight, and it's a very tough one to call, and it's going to be very good because Garrett Armfield's he's got really good boxing. He's got good wrestling background where he's got good takedown defense and pretty good get-up game. And you've seen against Brad Katona, man, he's got a really good double jab. He comes over with the overhand right, and he's got good movement to keep guys off him. This fight, he's going to be fighting Brady Heastan, who's a wrestle boxer. You know, he throws this weird left head kick that seems to land on everybody. It doesn't have the craziest power, but it lands. He's a good fighter. He's got good wrestling. He's got good cardio. He pushes a crazy pace. The thing that I favor Brady Heastan in this fight is it's in the small cage, man, and that hurts Garrett Armfield. You've seen Garrett Armfield, that fight with Katona was back and forth. He got taken down 4 times, more in the 3rd round when he started slowing down. But Brady Heastan's even going to push more of a pace. If Garrett Armfield's other loss, besides the David Onama on short notice, was to Mateus Vogel, who we talked about earlier, and Vogel, you know, got his ass whooped in the 1st round and stayed the course, and then ended up taking Armfield down and just choking him out the 2nd one. Armfield kind of gassed out. And I know it looked better against Brad Katona, but he used a lot of movement in the big cage, and Brad Katona didn't try to use his wrestling until the 2nd and the 3rd round, and it worked. Brady Heastan is not going to do that. He's going to be wrestling from the opening 2nd. And man, this is a tough fight to call because Brady Heastan barely beat Fernie Garcia, and Garrett Armfield's so much better than him. But like I've seen Armfield get out wrestled, and like if Brady Heastan doesn't get knocked out early and goes to the wrestling, keeps going to it in the smaller cage, I believe that he can eventually get it going. He might even be able to finish Garrett Armfield and give him his 3rd finish loss, I believe. So give me Brady Heastan as another underdog pick, man, in a really, really good fight that I can't wait to see. Last but not least, the main event, man. This is a good fight. Tape was fun on this. Alex Perez versus Tatsuro Taira. Alex Perez is 25-8, currently sitting at plus 165. He's 32 years old, 5'6" with the 65-inch reach. Tatsuro is 15-0, currently sitting at about minus 190. 24 years old, 5'7" with the 70-inch reach. So you see Tatsuro's 1 inch taller. He's going to have 4.5 inches of reach. Alex Perez, man, having a career resurgence. He's only 32 years old. He's fought 2 times in the last 6 months. I thought he beat Mikhaev, and then obviously knocked out Mateus Nicolau. He's got excellent boxing. He comes from a wrestling background, but he's got really, really, really good boxing. And then he's got excellent leg kicks, man. And then you see him with Nicolau, like he throws in combo with his boxing, and he hit Nicolau and knocked him out with like the 3rd right hook that he threw. He was throwing jab, overhand right, come back to the left hook, and then finally hit him again with the right hook from the left stance. Like he's got good boxing, man, with good power. Good wrestling, like I said, college background. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He has been choked out a couple times in his career. But them are, you know, most recently it's all two very, very high level guys. He got choked out to Davison Figueiredo and Alexandro Pantoja. But man, Tatsuro's a very high level guy too. I actually like his striking a lot. I go back and watch it even against Charez. Obviously his last fight where he gets the knockout over Hernandez, where his striking looks really good. He's got really tight punches. He's got really good kicks, and he can head kick, leg kick, body kick, with good power, you know. Unknown what he's going to look like in the 5th round, but it's unknown what Perez is going to look like in the 5th round. We've never seen him in the freaking 5th round either. All his fights are end early. Perez's 16 of his fights out of his 33 have ended in the 1st round. So almost half of his fights pretty much have ended in the 1st round, you know. So Tatsuro, great wrestling, great jiu-jitsu. Cardio seems to check out. Against Charez, it looked good all the way up to the last second. And he's going to have a size advantage on the feet, and he's got good striking. I'm going with the 15-0 kid, man. I'm not fading with Perez. He's going to make his 3rd. He used to never be able to make weight. Now he's making his 3rd weight cut, which means he's in shape. He's taking this serious, which is good. But I'm still going with Tatsuro, man. I'm not fading the 15-0 kid that's looked really, really good inside the cage. I think that he can wear on Perez. I think that he can wrestle with him. I think maybe he can catch him into submission. He could hurt Perez on the feet and club himself and beat him down like Joseph Benavidez did. So yeah, man, give me Tatsuro on this. I'm not fading the kid just yet. Not with Alex Perez. I don't think that's the one. Maybe we get to like Pantoja or something, we'll fade him. But like I said, I'll be back at the beginning of August, middle of August. I appreciate everybody that's checked out my stuff so much, man. Man, I hope everybody wins this week. I will see you guys soon. I'm gonna do the Defend Your Unit show tomorrow night, Wednesday night with Johnny K Picks, and then I'm gonna take my little break. But appreciate all you guys and good luck on everything.
Suck you, Johnny K. Ha 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 ha.